So hi everyone, my name's Jeanette Purkis. I'm going to talk to you today about autism and employment. So my interest in that is that I'm somebody on the autism spectrum myself, and I've worked in a number of jobs, but most recently I've worked in the Australian Public Service for 9 years. And employment is something very close to my heart because I know a lot of people on the spectrum really struggle to find and keep meaningful employment. Now, I am an author on top of being a number of other things, and I have this lovely book called The Wonderful World of Work, which is aimed at teenagers on the spectrum to help build their employment confidence. I do have some tips for you and for anyone around employment. Firstly, I would say preparation is really important because even thinking about joining the workforce for the first time can be very stressful for people on the spectrum. There's a lot of anxiety going on around employment. It can be a very stressful thing. For me, I couldn't work at all when I was 27, but by the time I was 32, I'd applied for a professional job in the public service and was successful. And the way I did that was by incrementally building my confidence through doing a number of different and slightly more challenging with each one work roles. Another thing that you will need to think about as an autistic person looking for employment is disclosure, and by that I mean whether and when you tell your employer that you are on the autism spectrum. You don't have to, you can if you want to. It's a personal choice. I have no advice to say do it or don't do it. It is up to the individual. There are pros and cons with both disclosing and not disclosing, but I would say it is something you should consider before you even start looking for work, because it's a personal choice and it's best to have a strategy. It's best to be ready to know what you might want to say, even if you end up saying something different. Another thing to remember is that autistic people are actually often very good employees. We go through life with all this deficits thinking, with people telling us what we can't do, how we're not good at stuff, how autism is a disability and a deficit. I have an issue with that because I actually see that given the right support and encouragement, we can be great employees, all other things in society, as autistic individuals. In fact, in the workplace, autistic people often have a very high level of soft skills. And what I mean by soft skills are those intangible skills that enable you to work well. So things like loyalty, honesty, enthusiasm, a work ethic, attention to detail. These are all very valuable skills that managers regard highly and which autistic people tend to have a lot of. So don't do the deficits thinking, look at your strengths and what you're good at, and you may be a great employee. Employment is very important, not just because it gives you a wage, but because it helps you with other things in your life. It helps your self-confidence, your sense of identity, your sense of purpose. It gives you something meaningful to do. It gives you a challenge. There's all these positives within employment that are actually great for your life. So definitely try employment out. I will give a plug for Specialisterne or Project Dandelion, whose site I'm speaking on. They're doing some great work, not just in Australia, but around the world, in placing people on the autism spectrum in professional employment in the IT industry. And I understand that they're going to move beyond the IT industry in coming times and actually work in some other areas. So definitely check them out. Check out the rest of this page, and thank you. Goodbye.